C8 Pate, back at you with another video. And in today's video, we are going to talk about this incident in California from a couple of days ago where the authorities were trying to catch up with these two motorbikes. And the motorbikes, they called their friends and this and that. And more friends showed up. And man, they was just down here acting a fool with the California police. And we up here in Chicago. The Chicago police would not let us play around with them like this. Get in the comment section. Tell me about your state. Would your state let let you guys play around with them like this? Get in the comment section right now and let me know. We're gonna get into the video. Hit that subscribe button for me right now. The three-wheel community, bikers, spiders, Can-Ams, Vanderhall, slingshots. We would not be able to get away with any of what these people were down there doing. But if you are the police, if you are in law enforcement, what are you supposed to do when a bunch of bikes are riding like this? What is the proper protocol? I know in some states they have a no flee rule, right? The police can't chase after them because a bunch of people got hurt. But get in the comment section. Let me know, what would you have done in this situation? Let's check the video out.
Off the bird above, it looks like. So, oh, okay. Little handoff there with the quad.
Yeah. Law enforcement certainly going to have their work cut out for them here as they try to pursue. Right now, aside from perhaps just being in, unlicensed vehicles like that four-wheeler and some of the other bikes, those guys, to the best of our knowledge, have not committed any crimes, but certainly putting on a show.
Oh my, that is so dangerous.
Weave through traffic. You see this kind of stuff though, not just during a pursuit like this, but even oh, look, there's black and white.
Yeah, that should be a sheriff's unit there that they passed.
I wonder if they're just letting
doing wheelies.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You see this kind of stuff in Hollywood. You see it, all over the place.
The street takeovers.
The street takeovers, yeah. and sometimes, just Hollywood Boulevard, Sunset Boulevard on a Friday night, people will, they're just looking for attention.
I've seen this happen on bicycles.
Wrong side of the road.
Right, wrong side of the road.
Pulling into a gas station.
Okay, now would be a great time for officers to maybe intervene, but it looks like more people have joined this.
1, 2, 3, 4. God, there's a lot of them.
This isn't good because they're going to refuel and then they're going to have more gas to work this. So we'll see what they do. They're the two originals.
You have to wonder. It looked like a LA County Sheriff's Department vehicle right there on that surface street as they all passed by. If that, yes. And the deputy was in a turning lane, so clearly there was someone in the vehicle. You have to wonder why he wasn't cued in or radioed in on this pursuit. But
also, how many people just joined in with them?
Yeah, and look, just getting some fuel right here.
And they are refueling.
This would be an opportune time for law enforcement to intervene, but no black and whites in sight. At least not right now.
Even if they did intervene,
so we're all,
how do you even begin to contain 12 dudes on motorbikes and one quad?
Well, you go for the two that are right there that we see in our frame,
initiated the pursuit.
That initiated the thing, and then if you can catch some of the other ones, do it.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Well, the other one's getting fuel now, so they both are filled up and have plenty of fuel to go for a while, but this is also near or in the LAPD's jurisdiction, so we'll see if LAPD gets involved or not. I'm listening to their radios for this area, and so far I haven't heard much from LAPD on this, but looks like they're good to go here in just a second. In which direction? We'll see. I do hear CHP talking about trying to get units here.
Coincidentally, on Success Avenue.
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
I do feel like they feel
East Imperial Highway
unstoppable
and
at this
Success
point.
Avenue here in Los Angeles. And here they go. Yep. Off they go. Had plenty of time to pull into this gas station, Chevron station, refuel.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 quads. At least 6 riders.
Wow.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 possibly.
Oh boy.
I don't know how to ride, but it's so dangerous.
That explains the confidence, I guess, in their behavior over the last hour. Texting, looking over their shoulder, clearly.
Probably calling for reinforcements. Probably calling for these guys to come put on a spectacle.
Well, one guy has a helmet on. I guess I should say one person, one rider.
Yeah.
Are these still our two primary suspects in frame right here, Gil?
Yeah, that's them. I'm trying to get the scanner up for. Oh, there we go. I got it. For the CHP.
Okay.
CHP is saying they're not going to engage, and that's accurate because they're not on the freeway system. They're not going to engage, but sheriffs or LAPD definitely could. Sheriffs, LA County sheriffs are aware of it, and we'll see if they get involved. But all we need is a couple of motor officers here to try to get into this group and break them up.
Yeah, interesting that we're not seeing any black and white squad cars or motor officers in pursuit. We do know that the Sheriff's Department helicopter is overhead.
Imperial Highway in Stanford. So, Gil, what does that look like at 5 o'clock in the afternoon with as far as the rest of the traffic goes?
Well, with their presence here in the westbound lanes, they have the full ride on the westbound lanes. The eastbound lanes have some traffic. I would call it moderate at this point, but they are approaching the 110 here shortly. So we'll see if they decide to jump on the freeway or just stay on surface streets. This was the first person that they were trying to pull over in the pursuit. We're hearing from the helicopter overhead that this is the suspect that actually tried to ram the other motor officer in the pursuit early on, and then he was joined by the one in white, which has dropped out of the picture here. We should see him here in a second. But in any event, let me see if I can find him. They've kind of all mixed up and blended in. We'll stay with the blue motorcycle because that's the initial suspect. But I mean, they're joined by my pilot Anton Imler said there's at least 17 motorcycles down there right now. He has it out their side. He can see them. But yeah, this is crazy to say the least.
It's a street takeover of sorts, only while in motion.
So are they in Downey? What
here
is
on Imperial Highway?
No, this is South LA for
South
sure.
LA.
It's
South LA.
right at the 105 and the 110. Yeah.
105, 110. Got it. Wow.
Yeah.
This is bizarre, John.
It's certainly different. They are going to have to get control of the situation at some point, though, because as you can see, aside from just pulling off all of these stunts right here and creating quite a spectacle for themselves, they are endangering the public. And one of the suspects, the one on the blue dirt bike right there, reportedly tried to strike a motor officer during the initial portions of this pursuit. And again, this was all started as a CHP attempting to stop one of the bikers for failure to yield. And now, of course, it's a felony pursuit. You can see them all shaking hands and high-fiving each other right here.
Selfies.
While they
perhaps
stop.
Streaming. They're waving to KTLA 5. Look at that.
Or perhaps to the sheriff's helicopter.
Or both.
Or both.
Yeah. She looked right into the camera. Mm-hmm. This is not something we're used to seeing in a traditional pursuit.
Well, they're talking to somebody on one of the cell phones right now, and yeah.
They're like, man, cuz we out
this
here.
This is a crazy
ride,
time for Los
join us."
Angeles.
Yes.
I mean, what is
I can
this
tell you that
cycle?
These kids crazy as hell.
if they keep going in this direction, they're going to go right by the sheriff's station down here. But now it looks like they're turning, so they're going to be going north. This is on Figueroa, and they changed their mind. They're coming back this way. That's good for us because we wouldn't be able to follow them up there, but they're going to continue westbound now.
Now heading towards the sheriff's station.
They are. So we'll see if the sheriffs intervene there. If these guys even know the sheriffs have a station down there. We'll see what happens when they get there. That should be interesting.
It's almost as if they are taunting law enforcement to do something. And we know that law enforcement's aware, sheriff's helicopters overhead. But right now, they really do not seem to care as they continue to evade police.
We'll see. We'll try to come back in and find the initial two. Here they are. They're kind of right in the middle of the pack. And we'll see what they try to do. Now the riders are aware, and they probably see those motor officers there, which are probably making them really worried now, because now that now they have equal access to wherever they go.
Them fools
So they're
ain't
not going
worried.
to be able to get away so easy.
Yeah, you gotta fight fire with fire, as they say, right? Sometimes, I mean, this is at the point where you have to be on the motorbike to pursue these motorbikes,
Man.
and they have 5 of them,
They're about
of
to
those
mess
motor
it up
units
for all
behind
of
them,
us.
and as well as a CHP cruiser. Is it CHP or is it sheriffs that's in pursuit right now?
Let's see. It looks like CHP unit here.
Yeah.
And the motors, I'm not sure if there's, it looks like,
LAPD?
yeah, they're CHP.
They're CHP as well. Okay, so CHP.
No, they're all
Go on
CHP.
here,
All
police. Go
CHP.
get
We have
'em.
the CHP chopper tracking them. That's been going on for some time now. Again, this started at 4:20 here, and started with 2 motorcyclists, which has now grown to some almost 20.
Right turn, right turn.
We're looking at. And they're on Imperial Highway and now getting off of Imperial Highway. Is that correct? In the Inglewood area,
Yeah.
but on surface streets nonetheless. And this is a big gang, guys. This is,
wrong
you
side
know,
of the road.
wrong side
Gang.
of the
This is a
road.
big
They were
gang.
up on the sidewalk and doing whatever they can to kind of keep their group together. But, you know, the CHP is behind them with 5 of their motor units as well as a black and white. So, you know, they can pop wheelies all they want to, but they're on to them.
Yeah, it's such a frenzy. I can't imagine what it's like to be out on the road and see this coming at you, especially on the wrong side of the road. I would think it's a good idea if you know someone whose commute takes them through this area, they might want to just pull over for a while. This is really unpredictable, really dangerous, and especially for people who are not aware of what's going on. Gil, it looks like they've been trying to communicate with each other, kind of yelling back and forth, giving hand signals. I would imagine that if this is going to end, that they're going to probably try to split up, and it would make it even harder for those motor officers to bring them all into custody. And as they get really close to pedestrians.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I mean, those poor people walking across the street didn't know what was coming. You know, they turned north on Prairie. Unfortunately, we cannot go into that area because that's in the direct path of the planes coming into LAX.
These
So we're going to have to watch
police
them
are
from
crazy,
a
man.
distance here. The 2 that I have on the screen here, let's see, the one that just put on the hoodie, I believe, is the second one that joined in the pursuit. This is the first suspect that was initially wanted for the assault on the officer. He's kind of leading the pack now, but they are pulling away from us, and unfortunately we have to stay over the 105 freeway out of that air traffic. But let me come out to a wider shot. We'll go away from the lead guys, and there are the CHP 6 motors and at least one unit there in trail, all CHP officers. And you can see what they're doing. They're splitting cars up Inglewood Boulevard here, and they're going to continue. Officers are going to follow in the same pattern, but they're going to continue, and we'll see if they go. Maybe they'll go east or west here on one of the east-west streets, but for now they're still staying on Prairie.
I can't remember seeing something like this, a pursuit of, you know, some almost 20 motorbikes with CHP motorbikes, and I just can't even imagine how this is going to end. How does this, you know, how do they apprehend them? They can't use spike strips. I mean, we can't do a pit maneuver. I mean, this is so unusual. You know, what are the tactics that the motorbikes will use at this point to try and stop this, you know, group and get the suspect
Wait
in
for them
the
to run out of
Yeah.
gas.
It's mostly intimidation, knowing that those cops behind us, they can stay up with us no matter where we go. If we make a U-turn, they can make a U-turn. If we go on a sidewalk, they can go on a sidewalk. If they go, you know, if we go in an alleyway, they can go in an alleyway. If we decide to cut through a park, they can cut through the park. So that's the intimidation factor that these units, these motor officers can say, you know, basically, we're going to go wherever you go until you run out of gas, and then we'll make the arrest. Unfortunately, the 2 that initially we were in the pursuit stopped. They had time to stop for fuel. Now they're all fueled up, so it could go for a while.
Yeah, and CHP
Get 'em right
can also
now. They at
switch
the
out,
light.
Gil.
Get
They can
'em.
switch out their
Get
motor
'em.
officers, so they are not going to run out of
Get
gas.
'em.
We've seen that happen before where they will
That's true.
switch
Look
out
at these
units.
police.
But
These
you
got to
mentioned
be
the
the
intimidation.
dumbest
These guys
police.
don't seem intimidated at all. In fact, it seems like they're taunting the officers and waving to the helicopters that were overhead, showing off, doing wheelies
I don't even know,
on
y'all.
their cell
Hit that
phones,
subscribe
perhaps
button.
live streaming
Hey,
exactly
let's
what's
try
happening.
this on some Rikers, man. Let's
I mean,
Yeah.
it's
let's
just
try this on some
ridiculous.
spiders, man.
Yeah, and here we are at Manchester. Heavy traffic there. Red lights, and look at, they're going right up into those cars. Now the motorcycle officers are pulling in there so that they can get through, but they're right on their tail. So they realize, hey, these officers on their motorcycles can keep up with us. We're in trouble because we're eventually going to need fuel, and we're going to have to jump off and run to get away from these guys.
Gosh, I've been looking at some of the top 10 motorcycles and with the longest range. And if any of these guys have one of these bikes, you know, whether it's a Kawasaki or whatever it might be, it can go on a full tank 275 miles. So this can go on and on and on.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, that's not the case. We don't know what kind of bikes they're on, so I'm just giving you what the top 10
Hilarious,
motorcycles
y'all.
longest
Hit
range
that
looks
subscribe
like.
button, man.
And
I'll give
so
y'all
you
an
know,
update on
you would
this
think
later
that
on.
at one